day all. Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your financial market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for Monday, the 23rd of August, 2021. We're at 5:50 p.m. Central Time. What a day. I didn't see this coming. We had a big crash last week in a number of the markets. One of these, what we'll call, I won't call it a flash crash, but it was certainly a roll down in the market. And to come back and make new all-time highs in some of these indexes, the NASDAQ and the S&P, amazing is the only word that you can give it. I was watching TV and the analysts, at least that I represent, but I respect is the right word, one after the other, amazing. That's the only word you can give it, all right? And that's what the market was. I mean, at the end of last week, you had hurt the bulls. Now you've hurt the bears that are in the market. And where are we? You had the FDA today give a passage to the Pfizer vaccine. That's great. Now, I don't know why we haven't seen the others, Moderna and so on, make their moves with them, but I'm sure that it'll be quick order because they'll have all the studies ready to go. I think the market like that. It's also changing laws. I know in Chicago, our mayor came out immediately, and now she's about to make it a rule. Every employee that works for the city of Chicago has to have a vaccine. If not, you either have that medical excuse why you can't get it, something religious. If you don't want to get it, you probably lost your job. You're going to see this across companies now. Once you can get these drugs off the experimental list, it changes everything. And then you can say, no, we know this works, and now you're hampering and hurting your fellow employees. Businesses want to get back to normal, restaurants, service industries. I can go on and on. This was a big event today. Certainly overshadows Afghanistan, what's going on there. Tonight, another event's taking place. What's going to happen at the House of Representatives? They've all come back. They have what they're hoping is a 2 or 3 day session so they can go back on their vacation. They're going to pass or try to pass some procedural votes tonight on voting, and they're going to try to do it on infrastructure, voting rights and infrastructure. We'll see if they make any headway at all and how it looks going forward and how much battling's got to be happening here. It certainly hasn't helped the president that his image has been severely tarnished and the polls are just dropping on him for the handling of Afghanistan. And that situation, as we go into the weekend, it can explode in our face. They want us out of there, and how do we get our people out? It's a real nightmare. This is the most hostages I've ever seen held anywhere of U.S. citizens, and basically that's what you're looking at. But the market's also focusing on improvements in business. A lot of people wondering, have we peaked in the growth that we've seen? Probably. But that doesn't mean you can't grow 4.5% or so next year and then get back to 2-3% growth. Okay, but supply chains, they have to get full. You've got the ports in China, still the major port, closed. And our ports are clogged. So interesting time. But I was taken back, all right? Up and away you go. You're up a full percent today. You're up 45 points for the week. So you're at a new all-time high if the market were to close here. Look at this correction in the market. Down. And you came down here from this high of 44.76. You dropped last couple of, this is a daily chart now. So you dropped down to 43.50, 43.47.75. You get a bounce Friday. Look what you did today. I don't think traders were looking for that. You might think so, and you're probably right, but I didn't see that coming. What I saw was this, a higher high and a lower low. You were out of a trend. Admittedly, you've gone straight back up. How many of you out there take my weekend, first of all, my paid subscriptions? If you do, you know what I was saying on this. I showed you the weekly charts and I said they have not weakened at all. They are still saying you've got to be one way. It's the daily that you trade off of that was the problem, and it still is. This is not a pattern. The weekly is still bullish as can be, embedded readings. Go take a look at them. I haven't put out a weekly YouTube for you by design for a couple of weeks. I want you to miss me. Then I'll come back maybe in September doing it, but I've been enjoying my summer. Higher high, lower low, back up here. You're over the 18-day average. You still have the moving averages bullish. They're all lined up. What did we talk about a week ago when this was happening? I said each time we've come down, and I was pointing these out, those videos are still up there. I said we spend 2 days, 3 days under typically, and we go right back. And to my surprise, I know what I said. I said, and it seems to come back and make new highs each time. Bingo, did it again. Where are you though when you throw this all off and you get through with that and you go like this? I teach not to buy Bollinger Bands. In fact, I teach the first time you hit them to come out of them, be it on the upside or the downside. And it depends if you're embedded or not, and you're not. Take the Enhanced Bollinger Band course, it'll teach you. As far as I'm concerned, this market's just whipping back and forth. I'll let somebody else trade it right now. I don't see how you do it right there. NASDAQ, new all-time high. You came down from the depths of hell again. Look at how this market was down at 47.1050. At 14.71050. You came back up beautifully. You gained here 78 points. Then you gained on Friday another 158. Now, that's a big gain, and you're fighting your battle again at the 18-day average of closes. And today the market takes off. This should not be a down arrow. That should be a blue arrow pointing up, just my mistake there. But I think you're going to have a problem here. And if you look at the bigger picture, you're sideways in the Bollinger Band. Again, I'll let other people buy the market up here. I wish them the best with it. In the Dow, I don't see a trend here. Now, I'm talking day charts. I am not talking the weekly, which look very different. But you trade off the daily often. It's higher high, down to a Bollinger Band, and right back up. If you were long out, if you were short out, and you're just bouncing around in there, and the weak sister remains the Russell. It hasn't even tried to join the other group. It is still staying down, but what did we talk about when the market was just like this? We spoke here, and I was saying I am looking for support in this market now to show up between the lower band right here and the 200-day average. I certainly didn't look very good on Thursday, but I said I still expect it. Came back a little bit on Friday. I did not expect this today, but here you go, right into the resistance area of the 18-day. Again, those parts worked on this chart. If you look at the 30-year bond, you're overbought. Any reading in the slow stochastic that is over 70 is overbought. You have a pattern that's an uptrend. The bias is up. Resistance is 167 and 2/30 seconds. And in order to break the pattern, you'd have to take out the low right through there. In the VIX cash, when the market was coming up, both my subscribers know and I said it here, I think that the pros have a habit of selling the 200-day average anytime you're with the Bollinger Band. I think they write here. They'll write the calls looking for the market to come back into the moving averages here. I say it over and over. Market goes up. Same thing it did here. You have to have the pressure and the money to withstand these things, and all of a sudden it starts down, and then today you're right back down there. They're out. They caught that part, I think. Can I prove it? I can't, but if you go back on these videos here that you see up there, you'll see me say this regularly on that market. 10-year notes. What do you do when you're going sideways against the 18-day average? The trend is down in the sense of lower highs, but then you get higher lows. The legacy is the lower highs. Doesn't mean anything. Higher lows, lower highs is no trend. You're sideways at the 18-day average, and momentum's trying to point up. You get bullish if you get over 134.17. You get bearish the market if you can crack through the 133.29 level with lower highs, lower lows. I'm sort of stuck looking at it until that happens. Dollar index. Here's the dollar index. Overbought. This is Wednesday of last week. The next day, Thursday, you hit the upper Bollinger Band. I am positive I would have said that's where I think the pros are taking their money off the table. Friday, I look bad. The market's again down 8, but Still going up there. I don't feel bad now. And what do I think? I think it's difficult. I can't make a call on it. Why? The trend is up. Momentum is turned down. I don't know what to do with it. You don't have to do anything. The market that surprised me that it did not hit the lower Bollinger Band was the euro. And now I think you have a market that's done this. Now watch. If you take a look at both numbers, they're underneath 20. They're under 20 on Thursday, and they're under 20 on Friday. That's embedded now. Monday, today, the market loses the embedded reading. If it doesn't regain it right away, which it didn't, the market often makes a move to the 18-day average of closes. We'll see if that happens or not. Is the trend down? Yes. But it's now oversold, lost its embedded reading, and the odds favor the market making a run there. The British pound only got oversold. Back here is where I think the pros came out. They didn't catch this, in my opinion. That would have been the high area to come out. Oversold condition and everything else with it is what I'm looking at right there. You can see it did go lower, and now it's making that up. What do you do with it? I don't see anything. To get short, let's assume you wanted to sell that 18-day average, you got to go through that high and you break the bearish pattern. So, and it's oversold. Again, I think that I keep my hands as Ira, and I tell my subscribers, keep your hands in your pocket temporarily. Bitcoin. Bitcoin came right here, and we talked about this last week. It lost its embedded reading, which favors the market going back to the key moving average. The first one's the 200-day, which it's already at now, or the 18. It can go to both. But if it's going to re-embed, it can only do it the next day. And lo and behold, take a look. You had all your numbers over 80, you lose it one day, and you immediately get it back. So you sprung a bear trap when you did that. And this was on Thursday. The target, if you're going to go up, is not to take out this low. You have an outside day to the upside, and the objective would be the Bollinger Band. I'm doing a course. My next course is on outside days for all of you. Ways to play them, what you do with them, objectives. I'm starting to lay it out on paper now. I intend to have that course rolled out sometime in September. So I'm setting my goal for my fall already. In Brent oil, up and away. Look at how much it's gaining on WTI. All the oil was terribly oversold and hit objectives. And this was, to me, the first objective, all right? This was the gravy. Now you're getting the big bounce. Okay, so it's no different than where you were if I told you back here. And I think you're still in a resistance zone, but there's a huge but here. You're too oversold. And I think that a lot of the computer systems, the traders, whatever it is, won't sell these markets when they're oversold. They either embed or they wait for them to correct more. So I don't see the trade doing very much. I'll say the same thing in WTI. I see a lot of resistance between the 100-day and the 18. I don't see anything bullish on the chart. Heating oil looks like it made its low. We were looking for this too. Remember we were talking last week? There's two markets I want to look at hard going into the fall and winter. It's obviously heating oil and natural gas. Those are the ones that are going to be in demand. This also gets demand from jet fuel. And you can see you were back here again, and that's where I think the pros covered. I think they covered at the 100-day average in the lower Bollinger Band. I don't care that it fell further. Again, I want that piece of meat, that fillet, the best cut I can get out of that animal, and that was it. Now in nat gas, you're still in a downtrend. You're under the 18-day average. The resistance is 398.5. You'd have to take out this number, this high, to break that. But what are you? You have a reading that is just getting out of oversold. The pros might probe that. Where their stop would have to be is going to be right here, 414.20. There is a money risk you have to take into account. When you dropped here to the Bollinger Band, what would I be telling you? That is where you want to cover your shorts. You'll tell me I'm wrong, and I'm going to say I don't think so. And we'd still have that argument if I were your personal broker. So you put it together, That's the game plan that I'm looking at. And as I said, I cover this in great detail. On the weekend, you're not getting your weekly YouTubes from me. So I'm not showing you right now the weekly charts. That's my choice. I show it to my subscribers. I'm covering 40 futures markets for them. I'm showing them buy here, sell there, and I'm showing them that even though the daily charts and those stock indices were one way, the weeklies were locked in and still bullish. So it depends if you're trading off the weekly, the daily, but the filter makes getting short very, very difficult. And I don't recall the last time because of that I've told my traders to be short stock indices, because I look at all that together. So in the morning, what I do is I start out with the news affecting the markets, whatever's going on in Europe, Asia. I then am going to cover all these markets in that exact sequence. I am specific. Buy here, sell there. If you're looking for somebody that walks on water and is going to be right all the time, I promise you I am not that guy. The one thing I'll promise you is I will have losing trades and I will have winners that I will call out. I will look at money management. I will give reasons for the trades. It's all based on technicals. It's not what I think in my head, it's what's on the chart. So if you're a chartist and looking for another chartist using 5 indicators that he explains each time, this could be it for you. Just go to the website, under the word research, it's all explained there, and that's where you sign up. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great day.